Whenever the Prime Minister calls this referendum, we will be ready. We must be ready. We will win, because this is our best chance in a generation. To win requires a campaign of the highest quality, because we face a formidable opponent. The establishment, big corporations, global investment banks, the CBI, the BBC, Sir Richard Branson, most of the media, the Financial Times, and of course most of the lords and knights of the realms, as well as the majority of MPs. But we have one crucial advantage. We have the truth on our side. The UK can do so much better. I'm one of the co-founders of the Know.EU campaign, which we're of course in the middle of rebranding Leave.EU. It's another PR opportunity, and it's thanks to the Prime Minister for changing the question. Perhaps he was worried about the progress we're making. The campaign has been established by a group of entrepreneurs who passionately believe that what's required to win is a non-political people's campaign, a campaign that works with UKIP, alongside UKIP, to spread the message across the width, the breadth and the depth of the whole country. We need to engage people who've never been engaged before. We need the highest turnout ever. We've raised millions of pounds so far, but of course we need millions more. We've been quietly building over the last 6 weeks with a particular focus on modern, contemporary campaign tactics. In social media, in just 7 weeks, we've secured over 150,000 followers on Facebook and Twitter. I'm sure you're all on board. From those 150,000, the reach that they have is to over 3 million people. That's a huge amount, and we've only just started. Now, of course, we want to get people interested, engaged, so we've taken on board a great cartoonist to try and bring some life to the issues. Some of them may be a bit dry, but with his cartoons, it's engaging people, it's getting people involved. In addition, we've also got a very great creative team who are turning news into pictures, because of course a picture tells 1,000 words. So when Vauxhall or Nissan recently gave the good news, the fantastic news that actually, if Britain left the EU, it would make no difference, no harm to their businesses in the UK, no damage to their plants in the UK. Within a couple of hours, we had pictures on the social media airwaves just proving that point, and that was really good. We've also got a range of fundraising options, from text donations. We've got a great shop, and there'll be more merchandise to come. So look on the website and see what you want to buy. And of course, this doesn't just happen. We've got a serious campaign infrastructure with a chief executive, a chief finance officer, a campaign director, and over 50 staff in 2 offices in London and Bristol. Those staff are calling over 2,000 people every day, trying to get them informed about the campaign, involved, and voting our way. We announced yesterday that after a careful search, we've appointed possibly the best experts in referendum and campaigns in the world. Goddard Gunster, based in Washington, have a 100% track record. In 30 referendums out of 30, they've always won. We've appointed them to our campaign. We believe it's worth paying for the best. The campaign, of course, must be united, and we've succeeded in getting the support and endorsement of all the major anti-EU groups, and that's absolutely fantastic. Some of their logos are on the screen now. We must be united, and we must also be very disciplined and relentlessly positive. Let's always remember, the glass is always half full, it's never half empty. Our simple slogan is "Love Europe, leave the EU." It couldn't be clearer or more positive, could it? The campaign will focus about informing people about why they should vote to leave in 5 key areas. Firstly, we can have more trade by negotiating our own free trade agreements. We can have more influence because by leaving we can regain our seat at the top table for the World Trade Organization and other important international organisations, whereas at the moment we're a 9% subsidiary of the EU with no seat at any table worth being at. Thirdly, we can have more money per household. Recent research shows that this could be almost £1,000 per household per annum. That is really material. That's real money for everybody. Fourthly, we can have more control over our own laws. We all know it's absurd that over 60% of our rules and regulations are dictated to us by Brussels. And then finally, of course, we must have more control over our own borders. Of course, we all want to welcome the best talent from around the globe to come and help us grow our economy. That's fantastic. But what we have at the moment is uncontrolled chaos. There are 2 things which haven't really been properly registered yet. The first is that the recent welcome announcement from the Chancellor about the increase in the national minimum wage, that's good news, but it has a serious unintended consequence. It puts us way ahead at the top of the EU league table of national minimum wage rates. So we all know what's going to happen. The second point is that the real data to follow are the NINOs. Now, I'm sure everybody here knows what a NINO is. That stands for National Insurance Number for Overseas Persons. The government very helpfully released the latest data in the last week of August, the bank holiday week. That showed that the NINOs for the year to June 2015 had increased by 62% on the previous year. 62% at 917,000. Those are people who want to work here. The government's official data is that there's gross immigration of just over 600,000, including dependents. Something doesn't add up. So let's all follow that data in the weeks, months and quarters to come. The Leave.EU campaign will also seek to convince people that the risky option, the dangerous option, is to vote to stay in. If we do that, the pressure to join the euro will grow ever louder. It'll become irresistible. And the Brussels bureaucrats, what will they want to do? They'll want to give us, they'll view it as a sort of joyous mandate. So they'll give us more federalism, more centralisation, more bureaucracy, more waste and more subsidies. And I say, and we should all say, no, no, no. The Leave.EU campaign, it'll be a voice for the people, not the politicians. And all of us, together, we can win this referendum and save our great country. Thank you very much.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.